Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English Edition. For tonight headlines, we have exclusive interview with the president of the board of directors. For the international scene, Mexico becomes the fifth most bereaved country. Welcome to our newsroom. The president of the board of directors of the Sovereign Fund and advisor to the president of the Republic, Mr. Mohammed Siki Qayad, has granted us an exclusive interview on everything we need to know about the new Sovereign Fund. This is a sustainable structure that brings together significant initial investment plus recurrent flows. Mr. Siki answered our questions. Listen to this report.
Souverain de Djibouti est une société anonyme de droit privé.
The Djibouti Sovereign Wealth Fund is a limited company under private law. It is subject to the provisions of the General Tax Code. It is therefore a company that is and will remain a Djiboutian company. This is my point. And this structure is placed under the supervision of a board of directors that will ultimately be the country's economic and financial board, namely the Minister of Economy, the government of the central bank, and the president of the port authority. And so, as I was saying, the fund is a management instrument. It is a widespread throughout the country. It is not something that is specific to Djibouti. I can name the countries that have managed to make a considerable leap forward thanks to these funds. And I quote Dubai. I can also quote Malaysia, Singapore, but also more and more African countries are beginning to set up these sovereign wealth funds. And Djibouti, your country, is one of the first African countries to equip itself with new instruments. Having said that, Djibouti's sovereign wealth funds will have two main missions. It will contribute to the realization of Vision 2035. It will therefore invest mainly in sectors with strong potential for job creation and poverty reduction. That is the first point. The second point, and this is a point that is, I think, very important, is that unlike most African countries, the Republic of Djibouti, in the years of the structural adjustment program of 990 to 2000, didn't we sell off these public enterprises? We were able to keep them in quotation marks. If I might say so today, the only sector we opened then was the port sector, and today the port sector accounts for almost 12% of the economy. So I believe that we never sold off our public companies. It's not going to start today.
Under the patronage of the Fatuma Awale Osman, the Djibouti City Council today held a ceremony at the town hall to present certificate of recognitions to the neighborhood councils of the three municipalities, Rastika, Blaus and Balbala. Present at the ceremony were the president of the two municipalities of the capital, local elected officials, neighborhood councils. This recognition follows the appeal launched by the mayor of Djibouti in the context of the 43th anniversary, whose objective was to embellish the city. This recognition is to this end, all components of civil society, the neighborhood council, and the national army took place in this initiative to embellish the capital. This morning, the mayor of Djibouti, Ms. Fatuma Awale Usman, presented all the neighborhood councils with a certificate of recognition and patriotism at the town hall office. The president of the municipality of Balbala, in his speech, recalled that the municipality of Balbala has responded well to the appeal made by the mayor of Djibouti for the cleaning of the city on the occasions of the 43th anniversary. He congratulated the mayor of the city for the policy of revitalizing neighborhood councils. In her speech on this occasion, the mayor of Djibouti indicated her immense joy in sponsoring this great ceremony. Listen to this report.
In her speech delivered on this occasion, the mayor of the city indicated her immense joy to sponsor this great ceremony. She first of all recalled the purpose of the ceremony and the work accomplished. We are gathered today to recognize the work that was done by the neighborhood councils on the occasion of the 43rd anniversary for having beautified the capital. For that, we decided to recognize its actions by awarding the certificate of recognition and patriotism. She urged the ward councils to keep going and continuing every weekend to beautify the city. She recalled that the inter-neighborhood cleanliness competition will continue and that the cleanliness competition is important for the city of Djibouti. And Server accepts because it will make it possible to put the various neighborhood councils in competition in order to make them operational through citizen action. She also encouraged the neighborhood councils to demonstrate civic-mindedness and work hard to ensure that the objectives set and the expected results are achieved.
The Training Center for Teachers of Basic Education organized this morning the end of training examination for July 5 to 10, 2020 for students teachers of the class 2019 and 2020. More than 500 student teachers have started to compose online exam for health security reasons related to the CFF ensures the initial training of the future teachers of all levels and all disciplines of general and technical education. Objective of this examination is which is administered by distance learning is characterized by a certification evaluation at the end of the training. As a reminder, in fact, the CFF, like other entities of the ministries, has started to use distance learning while reinforcing teletraining through these different specialized rooms. The Training Center for Teachers of Basic Education has been provided online courses. Listen to this report.
Comme vous avez vu, ce matin, nous avons commencé l'évaluation en ligne des fins de formation des élèves professeurs.
When you saw this morning, we started the online evaluation of students' teachers training purposes. If I gave a short summary after, of course, the so-called COVID-19 pandemic containment, we have set up a system that allows us to continue the initial training of student teachers online or to send them to the course. Once they have completed the initial training online, now we have moved on to the evolution, of course. The final relationship is the final evolution. This morning, we were able to start the first topics. As you have seen, the students are now composing at home, and they will send us the subjects as soon as they finish setting up the measures. We have set up a strong device, and we have sent credit cards and internet packages to all the students on their smartphones, so they can download the composed topics too and send us via 3 channels. Of course, on the platform, on the online classes we created, and on WhatsApp as well, we also gave the teachers credits and phone cards so that they can also correct the evolutions online. So everything is done online, and the training center is destined to be the center of excellence in terms of ICTE. Now we wanted to test this online evolution first, and it's a success. It's a success for the center as well as the system has not been at an advantage so far in terms of courses, and of course, in terms of time as well. And I think it will be a success for all of us. I would like to thank the Minister of National Education for having helped us to set up these systems, and of course, the Director General, who has told us a lot and who has helped us to set up these online information training systems and online evolutions. Thank you.
The Minister of Health, in collaboration with the International Organization for Migration, have launched an awareness-raising activity on COVID-19 in Bahash district located in the municipality of Balbala. Sensitization was carried out according to the mechanism set up as follows: door-to-door sensitization with 5 agents from the health committee of the Bahash district, installations of 20 hand-washing devices, hand-washing awareness, and distribution of 1,500 soap spraying and disinfections of the neighborhood market carried out by Ministry of Health agents under the supervision of the ENSPD inspectors. This activity is part of the implementation of awareness activity of the program Sustainable Solution for the Most Vulnerable Host Populations, Refugees and Migrants in Djibouti, financed by the European Union. Thus, on 4 July at the 6 a.m., the interpellation phase of this operation was launched. More than 100 gendarmes made up the Djibouti company investigators, reinforced by their colleagues from the mobile group, carried out raids on several points previously identified by the OPG. During this operation, 29 individuals from this organized gang was arrested. These various searches also led to the seizure of 9 NIFs, and including 2 sports annas of 515 kilograms of cannabis. During their hearing, these 29 suspects all acknowledged the charges against them for extortions and drug trafficking in an organized gang. They will be brought to justice to answer for their actions. The High Command of the Gendarmerie reassure the population that its unit will always be attentive to their grievance and will take immediate actions wherever public peace is threatened. After to the right was the turn of the town of Oboch to host the official launch of the Youth Entrepreneurship Project, taking part in the ceremony organized by Oboch Regional Council, where the technical advisor to the Minister of Women and Family, the Deputy Prefect, the President of the Regional Council, and International Organization for Migration as partner in the project in the policy for the implementation of policy strategy for gender equity and equality, promotion to the institutionalization of the gender approach. The Ministry of Women and Family is based on entrepreneurship, perceived an alternative to the search for jobs, the growth of enterprises, and thus economic expansion of a country. This entrepreneurship project, moreover, is one of the means of fighting poverty, youth unemployment, by promoting the creations of of income-generating activity in both rural and urban area. For the international scene, as today, 13,366 people who had tested positive for COVID-19 in the laboratory have died. Jose Luis Alomia, National Director of Epidemic Department of the Ministry of Health, told in a press conference. Listen to this report.
Today, 30,366 people who had tested positive for COVID-19 in their laboratory have died. Jose Luis Almona, National Director of the Epidemiology Department of the Ministry of Health, told a press conference. The official also reported 252,165 confirmed cases of infection with the new coronavirus, 6,914 more people than on Friday, a record since the outbreak of the epidemic in the country of Mexico. Mexico, with 127 million inhabitants, had already surpassed Spain in the number of deaths last Wednesday and was then the sixth most affected country. On the American continent, which has become the epicenter of the epidemic, Mexico is the third most affected country after the United States and Brazil.
Heavy rain have been pouring down since Saturday on the island of Kyushu in southwestern Japan. More details in this report.
Rains have been pouring down since Saturday on the island of Kyushu in southwestern Japan. 16 people are believed to be dead, with a dozen of others missing. Rescue teams and vigilant soldiers are still trying to find people trapped in their homes. The Japan Meteorological Agency has placed Kyushu Island under its highest level of vigilance for floods and landslides. Every hour, nearly 100 millimeters of torrential rain fell on the Kumamoto and Kagoshima regions. These regions are home to 2 nuclear power plants. Television channels show images of broken bridges, roads cut off, floods submerged a nursing home, drowning 14 of its residents. 14 people are in state of cardiorespiratory arrest. It is a term used in Japan before a death is officially confirmed by a doctor.
This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.